Codiñera. At guard number 8, Solis. At guard number 10, Pumaren. Forward number 2, Alulor. Forward number 11, Asaitono. Starting for San Miguel, Beer. At center number 12, Vigadise. At guard number 14, Calma. At guard number 4, Reyes. At forward number 8, Jose. At forward number 10, Teng.
Okay, this is the official declaration of war for game number 3 in the championship series between Purefoods and San Miguel. The Hotdogs in the dark-colored uniforms. They have initial possession, and they draw first blood off a brilliant drive by Jerry Codiñera.
An assist by Dindo Pumaren. Let's check out the starting lineups. Joe, San Miguel Beer is actually starting the same lineup that they had in game 2. However, Purefoods has radical changes. They are starting Solis, Codiñera, Alulor. These 3 individuals have not started for Purefoods in games 1 or 2. The 2 other starters for Purefoods, Dindo Pumaren, Nelson Asaitono.
Well, this is the readjustment that Norman Block expected from Baby Dalupan after Baby Dalupan lost in game number 2. 2-0 is the count. We are 21 seconds into the basketball game. Ponky Alulor just collected the very first personal of the ball game. And the 3 gentlemen who have been tasked with the very unenviable task of officiating this contest, and this is Ledesma, Bayais, and Hines.
Nothing but net. Perimeter shot there by Ives Ignadisa off Nelson Asaitono. 1-on-1.
Jerry going for his second basket. No soap that time, and Hector Calma clears the board for the white shirts. Here's Ives Ignadisa looking for his second straight basket. He misses 2. And we have a loose ball foul declared by Mr. Ledesma. Somebody stuck an elbow at somebody.
Foul, Alulor.
Alulor again, his second in a row. Inbound leather received by Hector Calma as Ives Ignadisa tries to eat up Nelson Asaitono on live. Traveling! Eager Beaver, Ives Ignadisa.
Lifting his pivot foot that time, Ives Ignadisa, he tried to disengage of Nelson Asaitono. Looks to me that Ives has one thing in mind, Joe, offense. San Miguel badly needs Ives' offense.
Well, they got a lot of mileage out of him in game number 2. They figured to get the same from him tonight. And we have a foul by Elmer Reyes, his first personal. And likewise, the very first team foul of San Miguel Beer in game number 3 with a ball game about a minute old. Here is Dindo Pumaren on a screen by Al Solis, who takes a 3-point shot. Outside sniping by Purefoods still has to fall into place as Hector Calma pulls up. His jump shot is still as sharp as ever.
2 perimeter baskets here for San Miguel Beer early in this game. And you can tell San Miguel Beer wants to quicken the tempo. They want to dictate the running game.
Jerry Codiñera against Alvin Tang. That's the matchup right now as Dindo Pumaren is picked up by Hector Calma. That's his man. Ponky Alulor with a southpaw shot against Bobby Jose. Won't go. Elmer Reyes clears the board easily for the Whitechers. They're off and running again.
Only Hector one attempt for Purefoods. It'll be a 3-point play opportunity for Heck.
Foul, Pumaren.
Dindo Pumaren picked up his first personal in the process, opening up a 3-point opportunity for Hector Calma as we reviewed that last bit of action. Another glittering moment here for the Django, who is a Pampango. A failure on a 3-point opportunity by Hector Calma, but a 4-point lead still being enjoyed by San Miguel. Scattered action on the Purefoods side of the floor, and another fast break consummated by Elmer Reyes gives San Miguel a 6-point lead. We're not exaggerating that tonight we really have body upon body amidst an overflow crowd here at the Ultra.
We're bursting at the seams.
Wow. Okay, Jerry Codiñera to pump fakes. The release is rather anemic. Nelson Saitono with a powerful rebound, but he loses it to Hector Calma, and Elmer Reyes comes in strong from the left side. 8-point lead. What a jackrabbit start here for the Beermen.
Well, no doubt, transition game in high gear here for San Miguel Beer. They're getting control of the rebounds. They're forcing turnovers. Defense clicking so far for San Miguel Beer. Purefoods must adjust.
2 minutes and 40 seconds gone by in this basketball game. Already, San Miguel has piled up 10 points, and the Hotdogs have been limited to just a single basket.
And this may be an unwieldy starting task here for Coach Baby Dalupan.
Well, to begin with, I've never seen him start with this unit.
Well, he's starting actually with 3 players who have not started at all in the first 2 games.
Al Solis finally consummated a brilliant cut there to knock down the San Miguel lead to just 6 points. Here's Hector Calma. There's no doubt in everybody's mind as to who is really calling the shots here on the floor for San Miguel, and that's the littlest guy of them all. Inside, Ives Dignadice is unmolested.
Nelson Saitono got caught there in the confusion of the defense, and Ives Dignadice, 2 points once more.
12-4 is the count. Back to an 8-point spread for San Miguel Beer. Solis, they're working the ball around the perimeter. Ponkelolor against Bobby Jose. The low post play. Nelson Saitono is not taking care of that basketball well enough. That's the second time he's lost it.
A little too eager to disengage at low post there. Nelson Saitono. Ives playing good, tough defense.
You know, it's the consensus of basketball experts that if this championship series turns out to be a protracted affair, then the savvy and experience of San Miguel Beer will eventually prevail. And so it looks like the Hotdogs will have to go for a quick knockout. Elmer Reyes with an air ball. Look at the intensity of Bobby Jose landing on the laps of the press photographers at ringside. 8:14 to play in the first period. 12-4 is the count. First game tonight won by Añeo over Shell to give them a 1-game edge in their best-of-5 series for 3rd place. Nelson Saitono backing off against Ives Dignadice. He draws a double team. Towers high for that jumper.
That's a big basket there by Nelson Saitono. That should pick up his confidence. Hector Calma actually supplied help defense on the double team, but still Saitono disengaged.
Hector Calma had vengeance in his heart when he put it in from point-blank range, and it's back to an 8-point spread for San Miguel Beer with 14-6. 3-point bomb does not explode for Al Solis, and only one crack that time for the Hotdogs. Bad pass by Bobby Jose. Dindo Pumaran brings it right back to Purefoods turf. Jerry Codiñera comes in, but will it count?
Offensive foul, Pumaran.
An offensive foul by Dindo Pumaran nullifies everything.
You see that here in the slow-mo defense. Again, Ives Dignadice drawing the charge. We have a timeout.
Timeout, Purefoods Hotdog.
Well, what do you know? Spectacles seem to be all the rage these days, especially when they're worn by singing idol Gary Valenciano and his wife Angelique, and also Mrs. Jojo Lastimosa. 8-point lead for San Miguel Beer. Time down to 7:21. We're still in the first period. A good pick set up by Ives Dignadice for Calma. It's a double-digit spread now for the Beermen, who are still blazing after a big, rousing start.
Daning Valenciano in the ball game for the first time. He had not played in the first 2 games of this series.
Upward shot taken by Jerry Codiñera. Scramble for the loose leather. Won by Hector Calma, but it falls into the wrong hands. 3-point shot by Al Solis. Won't go. That's his second miss from 3-point country. Nelson Saitono rejected from behind by Ives Dignadice. Hector Calma clears the 10-second line. San Miguel protecting a 10-point lead. Looking to improve on it. And we have a foul. Bobby Jose, undoubtedly, in the attempt to retrieve the lost leather.
Actually, Al Solis has attempted twice, Joe, from the 3-point range. And I think with the entry here of Daning Valenciano, it's very clear Coach Baby Dalupan wants his boys to start hitting its stride in the 3-point range. That should open up the inside defense of San Miguel, which has been very tight and has made it very difficult for Purefoods to shoot from inside. So he wants to be able to open up that inside defense by scoring from the outside. That's why he's got Daning Valenciano and Solis in the ball game right now as a combination.
Along with Alvin Patrimonio too. Al Solis against Hector Calma. Jerry Codiñera playing outside against Alvin Teng. Daning Valenciano from 25. sharply angled shot. Missed the rim.
So 4 3-point attempts here by Purefoods very early in this ball game.
The battle for the rebound won by Bobby Jose, who gently knocked it in to give San Miguel a dozen-point lead this early, 18-6.
Almost a steal here by Elmer Reyes.
And now we're past midstream in the first quarter. Naning Valenciano, deep in the left wing, trying to position himself for a shot. Ponke Lenore in three-point country. Suicidal drive, a good drop. Jerry Codiñera with Bobby Jose falling squarely on top of him for Bobby Jose's second personal.
Jose.
Watch that bruising bit of action again in slow-mo. Bobby had himself committed in the air. And so Jerry has two opportunities from the stripe to cut down that very imposing 12-point lead of San Miguel Beer. Bobby Jose is relieved by Tonichi Ituri, who's shown brilliantly in game number 2.
Ramon Fernandez still on hold. Jojo Lastimosa also has not checked in this ball game yet.
Well, Baby the Lupan is trying to guess, just like everybody else, when El Presidente will finally be harnessed by Norman Black. There seems to be no need for it right now, what with them enjoying a big 11-point lead. 5:40 to play. We're still in the first period. Hector Calma against Al Solis. Elmer Reyes extricates from Naning Valenciano. Here's Dignatise. Cutting loose without blinking an eyelash, and also missing without blinking an eyelash.
And Ituri will be tagged with a personal.
That's going to be the 15th foul for San Miguel Beer. While Purefoods likewise is burdened by 5 team fouls with 5:29 to play in the first period. Al Solis bringing the ball downtown for the blue shirts of Purefoods. Jerry Codiñera is very well covered by the two big men of San Miguel Beer. Naning Valenciano against Elmer Reyes. Shot clock down to 8 seconds. Alvin Patrimonio.
There's a double team on Alvin.
A good assist to Naning Valenciano.
And again, Naning Valenciano, because he likes to move without the basketball, got himself free for the open layup.
And you can credit half that basket to the brilliant assist of Alvin Patrimonio, who does all those miracles largely because of the shoes he's wearing. KP, the official basketball shoes of the PBA.
And they'll call the offensive foul on Alvin Teng, using his arm to ward off Alejo Alolor at the baseline. See that on your slow-mo replay.
Chance for the Hotdogs now to mount a full-scale uprising. They're down by only 9 markers at 18-9. Another nice assist inside, and Jerry Codiñera comes to grief against a double team, and we have a foul by Ponke.
A big block there by Ives Dignatise.
Foul, Alulur.
Ponke seems to be in a great big hurry to dance out of this ball game. Already he's got 3 personals, and we still have 4:40 to play in the first period.
And that's what you call team defense. Very coordinated team defense by San Miguel Beer. Ives Dignatise covered the inside lane and got the block off Jerry Codiñera when his original man, Tonichi Ituri, applied the double team on Alvin Patrimonio on the wings.
A failure by Ives Dignatise. Turning garbage into goal. Tonichi Ituri.
Again, right place, right time. Offensive rebound here.
Well, Tonichi Ituri undoubtedly has turned out to be the surprise weapon in the championship series by Norman Block. Oh, bad pass inside, heavy traffic by Naning Valenciano. Fortunately for them, it stays in their backyard. Al Solis will be doing the honors from the baseline. Time down to 4 minutes and 4. It's still an 11-point lead going for the Beermen, looking for victory number 2 in game number 3, championship series. Then we have a turnover on an offensive foul.
Offensive foul, Patrimonio.
Things not going the way of Purefoods in the early going.
A sour first quarter for the Hotdogs. They're down by 11, 20-19. Purefoods already in penalty. San Miguel is 1 shy of it. 3:51 to play. Tonichi Ituri gives it over to Elmer Reyes. Hector Calma back to directing traffic here for the white shirts. The director goes to work. No, that's not what he had in mind. Fast break and it works for the blue shirts. Al Solis trailed by Tonichi Ituri, puts it up. Alvin coming through with a magnum opus against the 2 big men of San Miguel. There's a 9-point lead now for the Beermen. 20-11. And here is Hector Calma. While he's facing a guy whom he has to look up to again because Al Solis is about 4 inches taller.
Well, that's the matchup that Baby the Lupan likes to have. a much taller man to stop Hector Calma from executing the usual orchestration that he does so well for San Miguel Beer.
Jerry Codiñera picked up his first personal, but since they're in penalty, it's going to be 2 free throws for the offended party, Ives Dignatice. I don't know if this is purely accidental, but Ives Dignatice's shirt always seems to be coming loose. That's why he has to readjust them time and again.
Well, he plays with so much energy that he has no time to get himself all fixed up. Some interesting stats here flashed here.
Very impressive performance in the championship series by this young man. 21-11. 11-point lead now for the Beermen at 22-11. 3:12 to play. We're still in the first period. Backcourt tandem right now for the Hotdogs. We have Al Solis, Naning Valenciano. Here's Naning. Can't extricate himself from Elmer Reyes. Goes to the other side of the court. Works it inside. Heavy traffic. Jerry Codiñera's move is preempted by a foul from Alvin Teng. Second personal for Teng. And Teng, that's the sound of the bell for a timeout. 3 VIPs all in a row from left to right. Don Pablo Carlos, Mr. Art Trinidad Añejo, and Mr. Ignacio Cotao Presto. Foul Capacio to inaugurate his entry into the basketball game along with Ramon Fernandez.
Okay, Naning Valenciano from point-blank range missed the hoop completely. You saw that in your slow-mo replay. That's the only piece of action that we missed coming in from the timeout break.
Well, Norman Black seems to be applying the same ploy that worked so successfully for him in Game 2, and that is introducing Ramon Fernandez into the ball game in the last couple of minutes of the first quarter.
Well, both coaches are actually playing cat and mouse here. They're playing a game with each other, and I think this game is anchored on trying to create the best possible mismatches to be able to take advantage. I think what Norman Black didn't want to do was to have Ramon Fernandez get shadowed or shadow Jerry Codiñera right at the start.
Well, Baby Dalupan prepared with a lot of fallback positions for the entry of Ramon Fernandez, the first of which was Sonny Cabato's infusion into the basketball game. And Ituri was the guy singled out as the culprit in that foul, his second personal. Jerry Codiñera stepping on the line and would like to grab this opportunity to extend our congratulations to Camayan on its 12th anniversary. Last night, a brand new Camayan on Pasay Road was opened. Visit the newly renovated Camayan on Pasay Road, as well as the other branches, of course. And they are in West Avenue, Edsa, and Padre Faura.
And Joe, look at the front line matchups right now. You have Codiñera, Cabato, Patrimonio, 3 large individuals who can dominate the boards in for Purefoods at the same time.
Definitely.
And with San Miguel Beer, you've got Ramon Fernandez, Dignatice, and Ituri. And we all know that the team that has dominated the boards has won. That's how it was in Game 1 and in Game 2.
And watch 2 big guys taking on each other. The hook shot by Tonichi Ituri went for naught. Alvin Patrimonio clears the board. And here's Al Solis. Jerry Codiñera against Tonichi.
A lot of bodies getting banged up.
Ooh, look at this, Sonny Capacio. Well, Sonny may not be the quickest, most agile performer on the court, but he sure knows how to use his poundage.
Well, he feels he's got that big advantage over Ramon Fernandez in terms of poundage, and he'll want to make use of his bulk. That time, the bulk didn't work to Cabato's favor.
You know, the presence of all these big men on the floor simply highlights what had been the keynote of this entire series all along. The spotlight falling on the big men, while the small men, brilliant as they are, have been relegated to supporting roles.
Ramon Fernandez back at the stripe here.
In and out.
And San Miguel Beer not having a good showing here from the free throw line in this series.
That has been the bane of their existence in this series, actually.
Exactly. In Game 2, which San Miguel won, they missed 15 free throws and shot only 64% from the line.
They didn't improve very much in Game number 2.
Exactly. No, that was actually Game number 2.
Oh, okay.
Still, they won the game.
Well, it was more dismal, actually, in Game number 1.
Exactly.
24-15 is the count. 9-point lead for San Miguel. Here comes Sonny Cabato looking for his second basket. Yes, he does. 24-17. Well, Sonny Cabato promised Baby Dalupan quality minutes. And that is exactly what he's doing. Quality minutes.
They like that matchup of Fernandez versus Cabato. They want to take advantage of Fernandez's speed and agility.
Yeah, but he's going to get banged up pretty bad if he keeps falling all over the place there, along with Sonny Capacio, who is having a hard time picking himself up from the hardwood, and now he is limping.
Well, Purefoods is playing 4-on-5 right now. Capacio's in the backcourt. Let's see what Naning Valenciano can do. Another missed three-point shot. That's 5 misses so far from that range by Purefoods.
Well, Sonny Capacio wants relief, but they cannot call a timeout until a dead ball situation arises. In the meantime, here's Elmer Reyes inside heavy traffic. Hold it, fellas. And that should be the cue for Baby Dalupan to relieve Sonny Capacio, who is now hobbling after that knockdown he suffered with Ramon Fernandez in that last rebound battle.
Well, Sonny Capacio slammed his fist against his open palm, I think to indicate his frustration at the turn of events. He had been going great guns, been playing good offense, scoring 2 quick baskets.
Boy, he had his eyes set on quality minutes. As it turned out, it was only a quality minute. Actually, barely a quality minute.
A very short-lived stint here for Sonny Capacio. Let's hope he'll be well enough to check back in. We've got a lot of changes now in the Purefoods lineup. Lastimosa in, Capacio in, and Harencio.
So it's back to a double-figure spread for San Miguel Beer with 27-17 with 51 ticks left in the first period. 2 for 2 by Elmer Reyes. 11-point spread for San Miguel Beer. Bringing the ball downtown now for the Blue Shirts, and also settled with the task of playing the role of orchestra conductor is Pito Harencio. The other small man there on the floor is Glenn Capacio. Alvin Patrimonio figures to chew what Ives Dignatice alive. The pirouette.
Foul Reyes.
Elmer Reyes opens up a 3-point opportunity for Alvin Patrimonio as Elmer checks out for Samboy. Enter the Dragon.
And you see that in your slow-mo replay. Alvin Patrimonio getting the 2 points, a 3-point play opportunity. Again, both coaches playing the matchup game. Jojo Lastimosa inside, and now Samboy Lim makes his entry. Alvin missing his free throw. He doesn't do that often.
No, he doesn't. He's one of the highest. He's got one of the highest averages from the 15-foot line, and the baseline drive by El Presidente produces another double-digit spread for San Miguel Beer, 30-19.
And that's what Ramon Fernandez likes to do. Rather than play with his back to the basket, he likes to play with his face fronting the basket because he feels he's got the speed advantage over anyone that Purefoods can put on him, particularly Jerry Codiñera.
That's what got Purefoods flat-footed in game number 2. Another turnover here for San Miguel Beer. Look at Hector Calma burning the hardwood. Challenged by Jojo Lastimosa. The shot will not count because time had already expired in the first period. We shall return.
Almost a turnover here. Yes, we do have a turnover. Purefoods regaining possession. Some first quarter stats for you. San Miguel Beer shooting a hot 71% from the field in the first quarter. In rebounding, the Beermen getting the edge 13-8. In assists, Purefoods had one more, 4-3. In turnovers, Purefoods also had one more, 6-5. So the departments that we earlier mentioned that will play crucial roles in determining the outcome here coming to play. Rebounding, turnovers, and the matchups.
4:35 seconds in the second quarter.
Franz Pumaran, I was just going to say, Joe, has checked into the ball game.
Ives Dignatice pulls up against Jojo Lastimosa. That guy is burning tonight. He's already got 8 points credited to him, and it's a big 13-point lead for San Miguel Beer. Pito Harencio against Franz Pumaran. Glenn Capacio. 3-point shot. Pito. Yes.
Harencio, 3 points.
And that's the first triple of Purefoods in 6 attempts.
Well, that's one weapon in the arsenal of Purefoods that San Miguel doesn't seem to have right now. And here's Ramon Fernandez trying one from 20.
And they like Ramon Fernandez to play outside, draw Jerry Codiñera.
Jojo Lastimosa confronted by El Presidente. Pito Harencio moves to the 2-point zone. Lastimosa aiming from 3-point country. No success that time. Battle for the loose ball won by El Presidente. Boxing everybody out. Here's Franz Pumaran. Dignatice going up against Jerry off the glass.
Already in twin digits.
14-point lead for San Miguel Beer. 10 minutes and 11 seconds to go before we call it a semester with Samboy Lim tightening up the screws on Glenn Capacio. Not much motion offense being displayed here by the Hotdogs as Alvin goes up against Ives Dignatice, and he's called for an offensive foul.
Patrimonio.
That's his second personal.
Ibas playing excellent defense here, and Alvin Patrimonio holding his ground right here. And Alvin forcing the issue. He's called for the offensive foul.
San Miguel Beer protecting a whopping 14-point lead erected after a blazing start right off the blocks. 36-22 is the present tally. One team foul for the Hotdogs against a clean slate for San Miguel Beer. Unoffensive foul this time, slapped on San Miguel Beer.
Offensive foul, Fernandez.
Fernandez was committed away from the ball. Take a look at some pertinent first quarter stats. That was a very quick look.
Now you see it, now you don't.
Well, you got to keep your eyes very sharp. Here comes Jojo Lastimosa with a pump fake, outsmarting El Presidente completely. 36-24. 12-point lead for San Miguel Beer. 9:24 to play in the first half. Franz Pumarin orchestrating the offensive for the white shirts. Fernandez wants to devour Jerry Codiñera. Look at that move. Didn't pay off though. Great save by Tonichi Ituri, but too late, too late.
Well, he came from the outside, Ramon Fernandez, but he had the good idea.
Alvin Teng probably checks in for your best Dignadize. Well, Dignadize had been playing a great game, but undoubtedly Norman Black wants to conserve and husband his resources. Backstepping against Pito Horencio is Franz Pumarin, who's keeping a close eye on the point guard of Hotdogs. Low post play. Here's Alvin going up against a double team. Try to issue a tight pass inside heavy traffic. It'll stay in the turf of Purefoods.
10 seconds, shot clock.
See how the interior defense of San Miguel Beer collapses every time the ball gets inside, and that's the reason why Coach Baby Dalupan wants his boys to take three-point attempts to loosen up that inside defense.
No question. Patrimonio on the right wing. Pito Horencio works it right back to Glenn Capacio. Three-point shot is on the way. Bullseye!
Capacio, 3-point.
Just in the nick of time when the shot clock was about to expire on them.
That's 2 out of 8 three-point attempts by Purefoods as a team in this game. San Miguel Beer has attempted once from three-point range.
See how devastating a three-point shot can be in the wink of an eye. San Miguel's lead, which once stood at 13, has been chopped down to just 9 points. Here's Alvin Teng. Clear error there by Alvin Teng. And this should be the cue for Purefoods to mount a full-scale uprising. Glenn Capacio bringing the ball to the left wing. Pito Horencio waiting for the pass from three-point country. Okay. Low post play again. Instantly, Alvin Teng collects another foul. That's going to be his third.
Foul, Teng.
It's a patient waiting game that Coach Baby Dalupan is playing, Joe.
Teng.
See, now that he's got his players to start hitting with a little bit of consistency from three-point range, that the defense of San Miguel Beer will now have to play a little bit more honest outside.
Exactly. Pito Horencio missing this time from Rainbow Country, and the Dragon. Let's see if he can belch far. But the move was aborted by a foul from Glenn Capacio.
He gave up a foul.
Adidas, incidentally, is the official outfitter of the PBA. Just thought you'd like to know. 2 team fouls apiece, 8 minutes and 5 before the halftime break. Franz Pumarin in three-point country against Pito Horencio. Jump shot by Samboy. On Nimic that time, Jerry Codiñera had the inside track on the rebound, fouled from behind by the guy christened by Romy Quintana as the firecracker. That's Bobby Jose's second personal. Third, actually. You got more coming? Okay.
More fouls to give.
36-27. Still a 9-point lead for San Miguel Beer. There's a familiar matchup between Franz Pumarin and Pito Horencio as Jojo Lastimosa wants to take on Fernandez single-handedly.
And that's a very unfamiliar matchup. Ramon Fernandez now taking on Jojo Lastimosa all the way from outside.
Well, I'm not surprised that Lastimosa was willing to challenge El Presidente. This is the kind of guy who would challenge anybody, including Manut Bol himself, if he had stood right in his path.
Well, you know, this is an offensive adjustment that we've noticed here that Baby Dalupan has introduced. In the first 2 games, the front lines of both clubs actually dictated the offensive movement. A lot of points were being scored by the front line. But I think in this game, Coach Baby Dalupan will want to get more of his guards to put in the points. You notice, for instance, that Pito Horencio, who averaged 10 points a game in the eliminations, in this series for first, Pito Horencio has averaged less than 1 point a game. So definitely Dalupan will want more production out of him. Another missing link here of the Purefoods team is Alejo Alalor, who has chopped off about 6 points from his normal average in this series. He's not playing in the ball game right now.
Well, Baby Dalupan undoubtedly wants his smaller men to get involved, and that's why he probably gave Al Solis and his ilk the license to shoot from three-point country. They haven't reaped much success from there, scoring only 2 out of how many attempts?
About 8 attempts right now. Well, I think the thinking there, Joe, is that if the frontliners of both clubs are so talented and they neutralize each other, you've got to look for one factor in the offensive scheme of things to be able to give you the difference. And I guess that would have to come from the backcourt.
In the meantime, you just saw a foul by Franz Pumaren. That's only the 15th foul for San Miguel Beer against 2 for Purefoods. Sideline inbound to be executed by Jojo Lastimosa. Arencio quickly to Glenn Capacio. 3-point shot. Surprise hit
Capacio,
from 24 feet by Glenn. Chops down the San Miguel lead to just 4 markers or 2 baskets. A 10-0 blast by the Hotdogs. Got them into the groove. On the San Miguel Beer side of the floor, we just saw another foul.
Again, the patience of Baby Dalupan paying off here. Let's find out what Norman Black can come up with as a counter.
Glenn Capacio was singled out the culprit in the foul as Elmer Reyes checks right back into the fray. He'll be inbounding for the Beermen. Their lead severely embattled now. It's down to 4 points, 36-32. Lastimosa watching Ives Dignatice. Arencio right on the tracks of Franz Pumaren as Tonichi Ituri on court. And here's a fast break being fashioned out by the Blue Shirts. Glenn Capacio. He's got great fluid working for him. Al Solis makes his move. A good setup job for Jerry Codiñera.
And Tonichi Ituri tagged with a personal.
Ituri.
Third personal for Tonichi Ituri. It'll be 2 free throws for Jerry Codiñera and a chance to put Purefoods to within a basket.
And again, what made that play possible was they moved the ball from up high with Jojo Lastimosa. Ramon Fernandez shadowing Jojo, and Jojo will drive at every opportunity of Ramon Fernandez. Fernandez is not quick enough to keep in step with Jojo.
Well, there's a difference of about 4 inches in height right there.
It's really the speed factor, and of course, that created the opportunity for Jojo Lastimosa to pass the ball, dish off to Jerry Codiñera. He's now at the stripe.
Looking for assist marker tonight. A split by Jerry. Chops down the San Miguel lead to an odd 3 points. 6:47 to play. That means we're close to the halfway point of this second period. Franz Pumaren bringing the ball very gingerly downtown for the white shirts. He wants everybody to spread out as he makes his move inside the paint. Door shot to his face by Pito Horencio and Jojo Lastimosa. Ill-advised pass inside, intercepted by Alvin Patrimonio. He's out running Mon Fernandez, but he misses the layup. And there's Glenn Capacio likewise missing 2 golden opportunities down the drain for the Hotdogs. Reyes, Ives Dignatice. High price to pay for that basket. Ives Dignatice down on the floor along with Jerry Codiñera. Let's take a look at that bruising bit of action again. Codiñera is slapped with his second personal 3-point opportunity for Dignatice.
Well, that was a dangerous foul there, but I'm sure Jerry Codiñera did not have any intention of hurting Ives Dignatice. He cut actually Dignatice's legs in mid-air, but I think Jerry Codiñera was pushed into that situation.
Well, in an instance like that, Mr. Henson, you'll have to give the benefit of the doubt to Jerry Codiñera, who has not really carved out a reputation as a dirty player. And we have a timeout.
Timeout, Purefoods Hotdogs.
3-point play in the offing here for Ives Dignatice. 38-33, 5-point lead for San Miguel Beer as we approach midstream in the second quarter. Jojo Lastimosa and 3-point country against Mon Fernandez. And look at Jojo preparing to challenge no less than El Presidente himself. Some help defense coming from Hector Calma. Jojo drops it off to Arencio. Coming out of nowhere, Elmer Reyes with a brilliant steal. He's got to go for the home run. Another fast break conversion by San Miguel Beer puts a lot more ground between them and the Hotdogs. It now stands at 7 points, 40-33. Pito Arencio with a harakiri drive.
Actually, what made that Elmer Reyes fast break layup possible was the good defense that San Miguel Beer played on the other end. Again, when you play good defense, somehow that takes care of your offense.
40-35, still a 5-point lead for San Miguel Beer. The jump shot by Mon Fernandez in and out, and Alvin Patrimonio coming out of nowhere to pluck another rebound for himself. 5:20 to play. We're still in the second period. Good pass by Jojo Lastimosa to Peter Horencio, but immediately he swarmed upon us. Alvin takes care of the scoring chores.
2 points once more for Alvin Patrimonio. Lead cut down to 3.
Hector Calma wants sanity restored into the San Miguel offensive thrust. He goes to Ramon, who gets a shield from Ibestic Cadiz. The reverse is no good.
It was blocked by Jerry Codiñera.
Capacio. Codiñera.
And there will be a foul, I think, on Lastimosa.
Foul, Lastimosa.
Yes, a loose ball foul on Jojo. That was a tough call for Purefoods. That had to hurt.
That had to hurt.
Yes, they were in a position for an offensive rebound and a possible 2 points that would have reduced this lead to just 1.
Well, there was clearly contact, but whether there was any harm, that's something else that needs to be ironed out. 40-37 is the count. 3-point lead for San Miguel Beer. Time down to 4 minutes and 46. Elmer Reyes going to Calma. The jump shot is no good. Even Hector has gone sour.
So San Miguel Beer now starting to shoot from the perimeter rather than force the ball inside, which is the kind of game that they like to play.
Another fast break abortion there of Ramon Fernandez, but there is going to be a foul.
Racehorse basketball right here. Horencio tagged with the person on. You see that in your slow-mo replay. Ramon Fernandez trying for a layup.
Capacio.
And Alsolis is right back in harness to relieve Glenn Capacio. Limbering up on your television screens. Maybe the Lupan is sending somebody else in also for Peter Horencio. So it's a complete change in the quarterbacking chores here for the Hotdogs. Another brilliant drive by Ibestic Cadiz. Boy, he's really letting it all hang out, and he's got a wide repertoire.
On a whirl there. Ibestic Cadiz scoring another 2 points. Again, Jojo Lastimosa up high, met by Ramon Fernandez. He's going to drive.
Ramon had a piece of the leather, forcing the error, and here's Elmer Reyes on the other end. Lightning-like drive by Elmer Reyes is putting up those points faster than we can register them in our ledger, and it's another 7-point lead for San Miguel.
Reyes already with 10 points in this ball game. It's back to the running attack here for San Miguel Beer.
This time a foul is going to be called on the little guy.
Foul, Dignadice.
No, it was Dignadice actually. I thought for a moment it was Hector Calma's attempt to swipe that caused the foul.
Earlier, when Purefoods managed to bring down that the margin of difference to only 3 points, somehow, Joe, you got the feeling that the Hotdogs were beginning to dictate the tempo. They had started to play the game on a slow-down basis and stopped San Miguel Beer from running. However, the complexion of the game has slightly changed here, with San Miguel Beer regaining control of the boards. They're beginning to run once more.
Well, that fact definitely has not been lost on the 12,000 here at the Ultra, and maybe millions and millions of televiewers watching out there. The momentum has been stymied somewhat. And then again, the Purefoods have the ball in their territory. Oh, almost a bad pass there by Jojo Lastimosa. Recovery by Jerry Codiñera. He misses, and look at him going for the offensive rebound. He won't be denied.
Grim determination there. Jerry Codiñera asserting his might.
And might, he's got a lot of. 44-39, 5-point lead for San Miguel. Mon Fernandez wants to return the compliment to Jerry by a one-on-one isolation play. Elmer scrambling after the loose leather, keeping it alive on San Miguel territory. Mon Fernandez is open. Defensive lapse by Jerry Codiñera gives San Miguel back a 7-point lead at 46-39. Jojo finds himself with a nice baseline drive. 46-41, while the Hotdogs are grimly determined not to let that deficit balloon to very alarming proportions again.
And Joe, again, it's Ramon Fernandez bringing the ball up court here for San Miguel Beer. Almost a turnover. Hector Calma now has control.
Mon Fernandez at the right wing lobs it over to Tonichi. The hook shot didn't work that time. Looks like Alvin has got Tonichi's number tonight. Alsolis banging bodies with Elmer Reyes. Wild shot. Dindo Pumarin. And the ball nearly got stuck between the rim and the glass. Foul.
Dindo will go to the line.
Foul, Dignadice.
before the charities.
Time
We have a
out, San
timeout.
Miguel Beer.
The Dragon has made its reappearance on the hard court for Norman Black as Team Pumarin sinks the first of two charities. It's now 46-43. Purefoods coming tantalizingly close now with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left in the first half. It's time for question number 2 in our Watch for Cash with Sarsi. Who will score the last officially counted points of the first half? Repeat, who will score the last officially counted points of the first half? The winners of the weekly draw and the grand draw will be announced this Tuesday, August 29. 10,000 smackaroos on the line there. Exactly 2 minutes to go in the first half. Samboy, the shot deflected by Jojo. Good save by Hector Calma in the backcourt. Fresh offensive thrust here for San Miguel. Very risky cross-court pass by Fernandez, resulting in a steal by Jojo Lastimosa.
Two straight turnovers here.
Right.
A spate of turnovers actually for both clubs. And you see Dindo Pamaran back of the line.
Foul, Lim.
He'll have a chance, Joe, to chop down this lead to just 1 point.
That's right. You know, going around the sites here at the Ultra, I see the very distinguished faces of a lot of San Miguel executives, some of whom have requested me to greet one of San Miguel's bankers who will be turning a year older tomorrow. And that's Miss Phoebe Cabildo, Assistant Vice President of Marketing Department 2 of the Urban Development Bank. Well, being one of the bankers of San Miguel, she naturally is a San Miguel fan. Dindo Pumarin going for his second charity. And it's in the can.
Jack Tanuan in the ball game. We expect him to either match up with Tonichi Ituri or Mon Fernandez. Well, Nelson Asaitone is also in the ball game. So fresh legs here for Coach Baby Dalupan.
1 point ball game as we move to the last minute and 26 seconds of the first semester. A bad drive inside by Elmer Reyes. Another fast break being fashioned out by the blue shirts. Dindo Pumarin going to Lastimosa. Boy,
and
now
Joe,
you know why
yes.
Sarmenta refers to this guy as the human bullet. Huh?
Well, the last 3 offensive thrusts of San Miguel here, they did not even make a single attempt at the basket because of the tight defense of Purefoods. Purefoods has been able to force 3 straight turnovers on 3 straight offensive thrusts of San Miguel Beer. That's the 4th turnover.
Nelson Asaitono giving Purefoods a 3-point lead after a spirited uprising.
A big defensive game here by Purefoods. San Miguel Beer has not been able to take an attempt in its last 4 offensive thrusts.
Well, the Beermen are getting a dose of their own defensive medicine, Mr. Henson. Lim.
Nice
he escapes Lastimosa.
Beautiful spin around there by Samboy Lim on a one-on-one move.
No help defense forthcoming for Jojo Lastimosa, and so their lead has been chopped down to a solitary point with time down to 18 seconds. Opportunity here for the Hotdogs to get the last basket in this first semester.
And Dindo is just whiling away the time, letting it expire. They want to take the last shot.
Lastimosa trying to go to Jack Tanuan. 1 second left, and it's all over. Not yet, not yet.
25-second violation.
A 25-second violation by the Purefoods Hotdogs throws the clock at 1 second. So we still have 1 second to play in this first half.
Let's see what Tonichi Ituri can do.
There's the alley-oop intended for Mon Fernandez. It blew up right in their faces, so it's a 1-point lead for the Hotdogs as both clubs repair to the locker room for the halftime break.
The Ultra Purefoods up ahead by 149-48. Over to our halftime statistics board. San Miguel Beer actually out shooting Purefoods 60% to 46%. Also out rebounding the Hotdogs 22-18. But in turnovers, Purefoods getting the edge. Only 11 for Purefoods and San Miguel Beer 14. Now you get to wonder with all those statistics, why is San Miguel trailing by 1 point? Well, actually, San Miguel Beer had 5 more 2-point field goal conversions more than Purefoods, but Purefoods knocked in 3 3-point shots, none for San Miguel Beer, and plus Purefoods also had 4 more free throws than San Miguel Beer. Over here to our halftime statistics whiteboard here, we'd like to explain to you something that that Coach Baby Dalupan has tried to do, particularly in the second period. He has used the three-point shot here to be able to loosen up the inside defense of San Miguel Beer. Purefoods has attempted 10 three-point shots, and the reason for this is because every time Purefoods has the ball inside, San Miguel Beer is very quick to apply the help defense. Once the ball gets inside to someone at low post, there is a double team immediately clamped down on that person playing the low post. And if somehow one Purefoods player is able to come inside for a possible drop-off pass over to him, there is also another San Miguel Beer defenseman to try to cover up. And that has been a magic trick here for San Miguel Beer's defense. And the reason being that Purefoods now has to take shots from the outside to be able to unload and ease up that very tight inside defense of San Miguel Beer. Now we've got a slow motion replay that we'd like to show for you, and this involves a typical out of bounds play of San Miguel Beer to show you what kind of a finesse team that San Miguel Beer team is. And here's that slow-mo replay for you. Anchored on Hector Calma, now getting the ball outside, passing it off to Ivisting Dadisa. He'll make a spin move on the mismatch here with Jojo Lastimosa. 2 points, a beautiful finesse play for San Miguel Beer. We'll find out what the second half has in store for us after a few words from our studio.
With a halftime count at 49-48, we're just about ready for third quarter action. Incidentally, if you were not with us for the final tabulation of the Milo Top 10, we'd like to reiterate that Ramon Fernandez emerged the final winner in the Veterans Division, and Benji Paras came out the victor in the Rookies Division. And incidentally, we'd like to congratulate Milo for being the official energy drink of the two Filipino champions who emerged from the Hong Kong Open Junior Golf Championship just a couple of days back. I'm referring to my nephew, Gerard Cantada, who ruled and defended his crown in the 14 and under division, and Richard Lay, who ruled the 11 and under category. All right. Just so a foul by Alvin Patrimonio, which will send Alvin Teng to the line. That would be the third personal for Alvin.
And actually Teng scored nothing in the first half, so he has been a missing link here for the San Miguel Beer in terms of offense.
A missing link indeed. Well, he's trying to fill up the slack now.
In a hurry. But we also noticed that as San Miguel Beer inbounded to start the second half, Joe, that there was a pressing full court defense that Purefoods unleashed on San Miguel Beer. Let's find out whether they'll be able to sustain that kind of a defensive posture.
In the meantime, San Miguel is back with the upper hand at 50-49 with the third quarter, half a minute old, low post play, a double team on Alvin Patrimonio. Jerry Codiñera will challenge Alvin Teng anew. Here comes the traveling error. Score run change at 50-49, still San Miguel favor. 40 seconds gone by in this third period. Pido Horencio keeping a tight watch on Hector Calma. Jerry Codiñera is on Ramon Fernandez as usual. Ivisting Dadisa has to cope with Jojo Lastimosa, and he takes advantage of his superior height to put that in.
Big Dadisa already with 16 points. He leads all scorers in this ball game. Oh, and Ramon Fernandez, good tap off here, turnover situation. Transition basket. Not there.
Not there. Could have been a big start for the third period here for the Beermen, but they still have a three-point lead going for them, 52-49. Jojo aiming carefully.
Lastimosa, 3 points.
First intercontinental ballistic missile exploded tonight by Jolas.
That's 4 3-point shots by Purefoods in this game. 4 out of 11 attempts. San Miguel Beer, none out of 1.
That's where the big disparity lies, actually. Ramon Fernandez at point-blank range. He's in for a three-point opportunity. Almost as good as a rainbow shot, too.
Codiñera.
Third personal for Jerry Codiñera, and you just caught a fleeting glimpse there of Baby Dalupan, who is perpetually on his feet. It belies the fact that he's in his 60s already.
A brilliant master strategist, bench tactician.
Would you call him the Rommel of Philippine basketball?
Yes.
Well, Norman Black is the Patton. 55-52, three-point lead for San Miguel. 10-18 to play in the third period. Lastimosa against Ramon Fernandez. Jerry Codiñera playing outside. Now he's not going to take it from three-point country. You can bet your bottom peso on that. Lastimosa now makes his move against El Presidente. Shot clock down to just 4 seconds. Alvin missing underneath. Lastimosa keeping it alive. Here's Jerry.
Very patient in executing that play.
55-54, 1-point lead for the San Miguel Beermen. Rather tentative shot taken by Ives Dignadice, and we have a loose ball foul.
I think they'll call it on Ives, and he acknowledges
Foul,
that with
Dignadice.
a nod of his head.
Double block eye there for Ives Dignadice. Not only did he miss, he also committed a foul, his fourth personal. Well, Purefoods now has a golden opportunity to regain the upper hand if they can hit pay dirt here. Pay dirt from Pito Harencio from three-point country.
That's 5 3-point shots by Purefoods. And they regain the lead.
57-55, 9:22 in the balance for the third period. Team foul picture shows Purefoods with 2 against only 1 for the Beermen. Fernandez at his familiar low close touch, and he misses.
And you know, Joe, the 3-point shot really has come to play here for Purefoods in terms of a master strategy designed by Baby Dalupan.
Oh, it has had devastating results for them. Right now, Jerry Codiñera found himself in a big physical bind there with Alvin Teng, who is forced to give up his fourth personal. And Turi promptly relieves Ives Dignadice as we take another angle in slow-mo of that last bit of action. And this lull here will give me the opportunity to tell you about Motor Show 89, a showcase of the latest in land transportation products, systems, and technology. It's all set to unfold on September 23. Motor Show 89 will also feature a special display of vintage cars, plus a unique car exchange section. Motor Show 89, September 23 to October 1st at the Folk Arts Theater. You won't find Tinito's car there because it's brand new.
No.
59-55, 4-point lead for the Hotdogs. 8:51 to play in the third period. Fernandez continues to play with his face towards the basket as Elmer Reyes makes another suicidal drive, deftly eluding Alvin Patrimonio.
Nice incursion there from the side by Elmer Reyes.
Every time the hardcore announcer comes up with the name of Alvin Teng, you'd think it was the end of a round in a boxing match. Well, he has just been relieved. Bobby Jose is there to fill his shoes. In the meantime, San Miguel is just one breath away from tying the ball game anew. 59-58. Glenn Capacio against Bobby Jose. Pick set up by Jerry Codiñera. It was intended as a pick and roll, did not materialize. They have to go outside. Lastimosa won't go this time. Safety tap by Fernandez to Hector Calma. Coming in strong from the right side, running smack into Jojo Lastimosa. Nothing there from San Miguel. Good defensive posture by both Jolas and Jerry.
Calma.
And to top it all, Hector Calma picks up a personal.
Well, the important thing about that particular defensive play was that Purefoods was able to stop the running attack of San Miguel Beer. They were able to stop the transition layup.
Still a 1-point lead going for the Hotdogs. Low post play, draws a double team. Alvin Patrimonio looking for a free man. He finds it in Jerry.
Oh, big offensive rebound here by Jojo. He'll have a 3-point play opportunity. A free man on the lead.
Fernandez.
And there's jubilation among the Purefoods fans up in the stands.
An acrobatic shot there off Tonichi Ituri on the reverse.
You know, we're already in game 3 and no team has really established a home court advantage. I think the crowd here in the Ultra and maybe also among the televiewers is split right down the line. Yes, sir.
That's 4 straight points by Purefoods just on that one offensive thrust.
63-58. A luxury for the Hotdogs who have had to stage an arduous uphill climb all the way. Another unproductive thrust by the Beermen. Here comes Jojo Lastimosa. A 3-on-1 fast break anchored by Pito Harencio.
It's a big burst here by Purefoods.
Big burst indeed. In the wink of an eye, you find him ahead by 7 points. And a lot of San Miguel fans are blinking their eyes to find out if this is true.
San Miguel Beer really has had to work for his shots now. Tonichi Ituri taking steps.
You know, Tonichi Ituri was a surprise package of
Timeout,
Northern Flag in game number 2,
Beer.
and we shall return right after this. Our phase of the day belongs to Miss Gina Ascalon, 22 years old, a Purefoods fan. and an employee of the Airspeed Air Freight Company, and you just heard a big roar in the background there to punctuate another brilliant execution by the Hotdogs.
Jerry Codiñera scoring on the offensive rebound off a miss by Jojo Lastimosa. There's a smothering block there of Ramon Fernandez.
The Hotdogs are looking for a double-digit spread, but they worked that one out in haste, and it made waste.
San Miguel Beer looking a little bit disorganized now on offense.
Still a 9-point deficit staring them in the face with 6:47 to play in the third period. It's a 15-6 plus by the Hotdogs. San Miguel Beer actually started the fireworks exploding in this third period, but somehow their momentum slackened off. Here's Fernandez. He's lost his range. Another fast break in the works here for the blue shirts. Hector Calma looking every bit desperate, could do nothing but to tackle Glenn Capacio in an attempt to thwart the sure fast break conversion. Watch that again in slow-mo. Even in slow-mo, they're running at breakneck speed.
And no second effort shot here for San Miguel Beer. Purefoods is making sure of that. Just one attempt by San Miguel Beer. And the pace is slowing down. This is the kind of game that Purefoods likes to play. One-on-one.
Alvin. Mid-air entanglement with Tonichi Ituri.
And he wanted to get that foul. He used his left hand that time. You see it again. Slow-mo replay. Fernandez picking up the personal.
And the Hotdog fans are beside themselves with delight. With 6 minutes and 16 left the third period. Alvin Patrimonio can give Purefoods a double-digit spread. He just did that with his first charity. An alarm Norman Blanc promptly dispatches the Dragon to the table officials to replace Mon Fernandez, who has been terribly ineffective and impotent in the last few minutes of this third period.
Well, it looks like Jerry Codiñera has gotten the number of Ramon Fernandez in their matchup.
11-point lead for the Hotdogs, 69-58. Hector Calma is faced with a grim expression, showing you the desperate situation that the San Miguel Beermen have found themselves in game number 3 of this championship series. Elmer Reyes inside heavy traffic, a hack on the wrist by Glenn Capacio.
And this is the speed combination of Norman Black on the floor right now, Joe. He's got Elmer Reyes, he's got Hector Calma, and Samboy Lim. Those are his 3 speedsters, and he wants to be able to speed up the tempo of this basketball game, get some good lane incursions, as we saw here in the slow motion replay. Elmer Reyes missing his first free throw.
Well, like they say, it never rains, it pours. And that's the way it's pouring against San Miguel Beer right now. 2 missed free throws by Elmer Reyes. Bobby Jose keeps it alive, but the ball escapes him. Kept alive by Tonichi Ituri. Jose takes it from 3-point country.
Jose, 3 points.
A clutch basket there by Bobby Jose. He took that with a lot of confidence.
You bet. Certainly earning the nickname given him by Romy Quintanar, the firecracker who just exploded from 3-point country. 8-point lead for the Hotdogs. Alvin Patrimonio.
The first 3-point shot by San Miguel Beer in this game.
Glenn Capacio setting up Jojo Lastimosa. Tight pass inside Alvin Patrimonio. Unbelievable pass inside by Jojo.
Good execution of the play that time by Purefoods. Very patient, very deliberate in execution.
71-61, 10-point deficit for San Miguel Beer. Samboy Lim forcing the issue on that one, and he had the last touch on the lever too. Things just can't seem to go right for the Beermen at this juncture.
Well, the Beermen are trying to take it straight to the basket, and they're challenging the inside defense of Purefoods.
You know, in a game like this, the one big Achilles heel of San Miguel Beer is highlighted even more dramatically. That's the absence of outside sniping. Here comes a fast break in the works.
Tonichi Ituri. A counter block on the other end.
Helter Skelter, wild and woolly. Open court basketball. Jerry Codiñera, he misses. Counter fast break being fashioned out by Samboy Lim. A preemptive foul given up by Alvin. That was a smart foul by Alvin.
Everybody up on its feet.
Everybody needs this timeout.
Timeout, Purefoods Hotdog.
A pretty lady in our midst. She is Milet Buhain, daughter of Rene Buhain of Purefoods. She's a 4th-year mass communication student at the Ateneo. And believe it or not, she is a student of Sev Sarmenta. Back to the ball game. Hector Calma now with 10 points. A clutch basket there from medium range by San Miguel Beer. Alvin Patrimonio sitting out the ball game right now. Nelson Asaitono came in for him during the timeout break. Big defensive rebound there by Tonichi Ituri.
Still an 8-point lead going for the Hot Dogs. Bobby Jose from 13, in and out. Jerry Codiñera soaring high to block that rebound for the Hot Dogs. 4 minutes and 8 seconds left in the third period. 5 team fouls apiece. Well, make that 5 for Purefoods against 6 for San Miguel Beer.
Baby Dalupan masterfully shuffling his men. Tito Horencio has been a surprise package here. He has already scored 10 points.
Shot clock down to just 3 seconds. Here comes Jerry Codiñera in the nick of time. Back to a double-digit spread now for the Hot Dogs with 3:43 to play in the third period. Elmer Reyes orchestrating the San Miguel offensive from the right wing. Confronted by Jojo Lastimosa. Here's Hector. Bobby Jose in three-point country. Hector momentarily open. That's all he needed.
Well, that time San Miguel Beer could not penetrate the inside defense of Purefoods. They had to take the shot from the perimeter. Hector Calma, 2 straight baskets right here.
Glenn Capacio against Samboy Lim. Very frisky defense there being displayed by Samboy Lim. Tito Horencio misses a gimme shot. A fast break here being engineered by the white shirts. Elmer Reyes, door shot to his face by Jojo Lastimosa. He gets a fresh opportunity, and this time he is fouled. Exactly
Foul,
3 minutes
Lastimosa.
left in the third period.
Horencio.
Look at that towering vertical leap there by Bobby Jose. And Tito Horencio has just been relieved by Dindo Pumaren.
Capacio.
Glenn Capacio likewise. A complete changing of the guard here for the Hot Dogs.
Al Solis in the ball game. A lot of fresh legs all the time for Purefoods. Elmer Reyes missing his first free throw. Again, the free throw woes of San Miguel Beer catching up.
The 15-foot blues, huh? (73-66), 7-point advantage for Purefoods with 2:58 in the balance for the third period. Dindo Pumaren back up fresh in his role as point guard for the blue shirts. Jojo Lastimosa. There's the lob pass inside to Nelson, setting up Dindo. Yet no, for too soon. Mad scramble for the leather and last touch by Nelson.
There was an open jump shot there for Dindo Pumaren that he muffed.
A human bullet, as he was very ably or superbly described by Seb Sarmenta, is on Hector Calma, who's not exactly a slow poke himself. Samboy, this is coming out of nowhere. Ituri banging bodies on the way to pulling down the offensive rebound and getting fouled in the process. Jerry Codiñera acknowledges his fourth personal. Ooh, this ball game is giving me a gargantuan appetite again. Well, if we're looking for a perfect place for dinner, we'd like to go to Doña Nena's in Makati. The food is delicious, the service excellent, the ambiance perfect. Doña Nena's, it's at Makati Avenue, corner Anza Street. While those in Baguio need not miss anything. We also have one along Session Road.
San Juan and Valenciano in the ball game.
73-66.
He wants the hoop, and he gets it.
Foul, Solis.
3-point opportunity for the Dragon, who finally is snorting fire here for San Miguel Beer. And boy, do they need this fire. They're still biting the dust of Purefoods to the tune of 5 points. Now 4.
San Miguel Beer making it close once again with Ramon Fernandez sitting on the bench.
You know, this ball game is now being played in spurts. We're at the height of an 11-4 blast here by the San Miguel Beermen. Dindo Pumaren coming up with some very bad shots.
Air ball that time for Dindo.
Elmer Reyes going to Samboy. Scorching fire from the nostrils of the Dragon. Chops down the deficit to just a single basket. Al Solis telling his teammates, okay, fellas, let's get our act together again. Time down to 1 minute and 46, 73-71. Remember, at halftime, it was just a 1-point lead for the Hot Dogs. And that frontal assault to the basket by Naning Valenciano was preempted by a foul from Samboy. who just collected his second personal. Smart foul to give up.
Now both clubs are in penalty situation.
Hold it, fellas.
That'll send Nelson Asaitono to the line.
Both clubs in penalty.
Foul, Jose. Penalty.
Oh, the referees didn't realize it. That's when they were prepared to give the ball for an inbound. As it turned out, it's going to be take two for the offended party as Valenciano checks out for Ponky Alolor, the senior citizen of the Purefoods squad, who must assert his moral leadership in this very critical juncture of the ball game. Careful aim by Nelson Asaitono, pays off. While he is not a textbook foul shooter in the sense that he follows the rudiments of foul shooting, he's got so much upper body strength he doesn't even need to bend his legs. Look at this.
Right. And he still got the two shots.
75-71, 4-point lead for the Hotdogs. That should give them a breathing spell in the midst of this searing uprising by the Beermen. Somebody committed a foul somewhere. Alolor. I should have known.
Samboy Lim at the line on the penalty.
And while they're at it, the Purefoods team manager Ding Panganiban is calling on his fellow alumni from the Tanawan Institute to contact him regarding the alumni homecoming this December 9th. Ding Panganiban's office is at the Purefoods Green Top Building, Ortigas Avenue, telephone number 722-0411. I didn't know he was from Batangas. The same province whose biggest black eye is having spawned our scorekeeper, Willie Marshall. A minute and 30 to play in the third period. This is the penultimate chapter of game number 3, championship showdown. Jack Tanuan. Nope. 3 referees, all signaling a loose ball foul.
Foul, Asaitono.
Over the top foul there by Nelson Asaitono.
Well, this has been an excruciatingly long quarter because of the early penalty that both clubs found themselves in, resulting in 2 free throws each time a loose ball or defensive foul is committed. Incidentally, it's an opportunity for me to tell you again about Angel in Green, a special Vintage Enterprises presentation set for September 17, 7 to 9 p.m. here on PDB4. Angel in Green is brought to you in cooperation with Family Rubbing Alcohol. It stars Susan Day, Bruce Boxleitner, and a surprise guest, Mr. Quinito Henson.
Oh, I hope I got paid for that.
Well, it depends on what role you portray.
1 out of 2 for Bobby Jose.
Just a 1-point ball game again. Only a minute and 11 to go. Al Solis against Elmer Reyes. Low post plays. Nelson Asaitono draws a double team. The cut by Al Solis blew up right in their faces. Fast break opportunity being worked out carefully by San Miguel. Anchored beautifully by Elmer Reyes. And the Beermen have the upper hand again at 76-75. Quick recovery here by the Beermen. Might probably send them into the 4th and final period with the edge. Nelson goes up without the ball. He recovers. Wow. He just got the ball slumped right into his face.
Foul, Ituri.
Ituri's 4th personal.
See that on your slow-mo replay. Asaitono smothered there by Tonichi Ituri. He'll have a chance to score 2 points from the free throw line.
And possibly give the edge back to the Hotdogs with 45 ticks remaining in the 3rd period. It's dead even now. Would you believe this is only the 3rd deadlock of the ball game? It's been played tooth and nail and that close, but this is only the 3rd deadlock, and it probably won't last very long either. It didn't. Upper hand right back to the Hotdogs with 44 seconds left. Elmer Reyes quickly downtown for the white shirts. Calma. They want. No, there's plenty of time actually for a counter-offensive by Purefoods, so San Miguel will go for the quick basket of Samboy Lim.
An unbelievable shot there by Samboy Lim, defying the defense of Ponky Alolor. A baseline drive.
The Dragon letting it all hang out in game number 3.
Again, the speed combination of Norman Black doing wonders here for San Miguel Beer with Ramon Fernandez sitting on the bench.
78-77, just a 1-point advantage for the Beermen. Purefoods has a chance to get the last basket in this period. 79-78. This period is over. We're right back to square one, right where we were at halftime. A 1-point lead for the Hotdogs. Okay, we tee off for the fourth quarter by reliving a brilliant moment for the Dragon to end Chapter 3. Back to the live action here with the Ultra. We are 10 seconds into the fourth and final frame. The decisive frame in game number 3 of the championship showdown. Capacio has it for the blue shirts. Guarded by Samboy Lim at low post. Jerry Codiñera has to scramble and picks up a foul from Samboy. His third personal.
Foul. We have some new faces on the floor. Joe, for Purefoods, Capacio starting now, along with Jojo Lastimosa, Dino Pumaren, Jerry Codiñera, Nelson Asaitono. For San Miguel Beer, there's Ives, Samboy, Alvin Teng replacing Ituri, Hector Calma, and Elmer Reyes.
That's the dramatis personae for the final quarter. Nelson Asaitono continues to run berserk.
Patrimonio and Fernandez sitting out the action. Nice move there. Good pass by Hector Calma. Wide open, Elmer Reyes inside.
Clean getaway by Elmer Reyes. Chops down the Purefoods lead to a solitary point at 81-80. Well, that's been the complexion of this ball game all along, except for the first period, which San Miguel dominated. From there on in, it's been played in spurts, and the whole thing had been a hairy roller coaster ride. As Glenn Capacio comes through.
Yes.
Wow.
A difficult shot by Glenn Capacio. He took that off balance. His feet were not squared up for the shot.
Bone-crunching pick set up by Samboy Lim for Hector Calma, who is deflected with contact in midair by Dino Pumaren. Third personal for the human bullet.
Pumaren.
Hector Calma, the director. Don't worry, pretty soon we'll have nicknames for all these guys on the floor, including the refs.
Hector had 8 points in the first quarter of this game.
Lim.
Ato Agustin, a surprise package unloaded at this point by Norman Black to relieve Samboy Lim. 83-81. Well, whether that package will explode or will be a jack-in-the-box for Norman Black will be seen in the next few minutes.
Well, it looks like he feels comfortable with the speed combination. And I think that's the reason why you have Agustin now in the ball game to replace Samboy Lim. He likes what his speed combination has done for him.
And look at that. Maybe the Lupan is really matching up men. Al Solis is just checked in for Dino Pumaren. 83-82. Very shaky 1-point lead here for the Hotdogs. They need a basket in this offensive thrust. Glenn Capacio wants a spread out offense. Solis in three-point country. Likewise, Jojo Lastimosa. Finally got the ball over to Jerry, and here's Jerry. Their bread and butter play. 85-82, back to a three-point advantage for the Hotdogs. Calma is open.
Yes.
You know, defensive lapses on the part of the Hotdogs are keeping the Beermen right in step with them.
And Hector Calma has been delivering the goods.
The guy definitely has taken charge.
Foul Reyes.
Elmer Reyes with his third personal. Take a look at some third quarter stats.
Turnovers there. Purefoods had 4 in the third quarter as against only 1 for San Miguel Beer.
No significant disparity in the field goal percentages. Low post play again, this time on the other side of the court. The double team on Jerry Codiñera. Oh, this time he took it from a farther range than normal. Hector Calma, again, burning the hardwood. He goes to Alvin, who gets bludgeoned by Nelson. Second personal for Babyface.
Foul Asaitono.
Boy, what a baby this is. Normally they come 8 pounds or 9 pounds. This one is about 210 pounds, and he stands 6 feet 5.
And that was a perfect dish-off pass there by Hector Calma.
And Alvin Teng is looking for a San Miguel advantage. It all hangs in the balance now in this second charity. Yes, sir. 86-85 is San Miguel back with the upper hand with 9:48 remaining. Well, the issue in this contest has not been decided by a long shot. Solis against Calma. Glenn Capacio against the harassment of Ato Agustin. He tries to extricate, and Ato Agustin came in too close for comfort. First personal for Ato.
Agustin.
Somehow you get the feeling, Joe, that there's a lack of movement in the offensive patterns of Purefoods right now. A lot of the players are trying to force it one-on-one. Glenn Capacio, Nelson Asaitono, Jericho Codiñera. They're not moving as fluidly as in the first 3 quarters of this basketball game.
There's a lot of loose ends in the way they manipulate their offensive thrusts right now.
On the other hand, San Miguel Beer's offense looks a little bit more fluid at this stage.
And Dino Pumarin has just checked in for Al Solis. In the meantime, we see Sonny Cabato sitting very forlorn on the bench. He wanted quality minutes, but he only got a quality minute this time because he had to hobble out after suffering a knockdown.
After he scored 4 quick points in the first period. Spin move here by Jojo Lastimosa. They'll call a foul on Alvin Teng.
Boy, that's a gutsy move if I ever saw one. Imagine Lastimosa challenging a human bulwark like Alvin Teng. Let's look at this again and you'll get what I mean. Look at this guy.
Yes.
He not only brought the house down, he brought Alvin Teng down with him too.
You know, we were earlier commenting about how Purefoods looks a little bit disorganized in offense. The reason for that is because San Miguel Beer is playing a lot better defense now at this stage of the basketball game.
Oh, no question about that. That's why the Hotdogs are forced into a lot of individualistic moves. 86 all was the best that Jojo Lastimosa could manage from that trip to the 15-foot line. 9:13 to play. Hector Calma inside the paint. Rudy Hines blowing his whistle with authority. It's addressed to Pumarin. That's only the 14th foul for San Miguel Beer and the 3rd personal for... I can't count your fingers, Mr. Marshall. You see, one of them is unduly short.
Hector Calma has been sinking the clutch baskets for San Miguel Beer.
2-point lead for the Beermen, 88-86, 8:56 to play. Team foul picture, 4 for San Miguel, 3 for the Hotdogs. Ato Agustin is right back on top of Glenn Capacio. There's the low post play again. Codiñera blocks the offensive rebound, tries again, and this time baits a foul from Alvin Teng again.
Foul, Agustin.
Not this time, it was Ato Agustin.
Sheer power on the part of Jericho Codiñera that time. You see it here. Getting the rebound of his own miss. Agustin hacking him on the arm before he could take off for the shot.
After a long spell on hold, El Presidente is back in town. That's right, Fernandez just checked in for Alvin Teng. Kunichi Ituri is likewise back on the floor, so Norman Black is working with triple towers on the floor again. Ituri, Idignatice, and Fernandez.
This is his cleanup combination.
Yeah. Charged to do the mopping up operations. 88-87, 1-point lead for the Beermen. Hector Calma launching the San Miguel Beer offensive by raising 4 fingers. Dino Pumarin is sticking to him like a Siamese twin. Ato Agustin getting out of that jam with Glenn Capacio as Fernandez has his first taste of the basketball upon his return, and this is his first shot. Fast break in the works for the Hotdogs. Glenn Capacio trying to wave Ato Agustin aside unsuccessfully. Loose ball foul.
On Dino Pumarin.
Foul, Pumarin.
A blown opportunity there for Purefoods.
You can say that again. And they need this timeout badly.
Timeout, Purefoods, Hotdog.
Earlier I mentioned the live presidents of the battalion of San Miguel executives here at the Ultra. Well, this is the battalion commander, Mr. Francisco Ismendi, president of the San Miguel Corporation.
And right behind him, the son of another San Miguel executive, Ramon.
Time down to 8 minutes and 5 seconds. 1-point lead for the Beermen. Jump shot by Ato Agustin. Bullseye! Okay, Ato Agustin is getting into the scoring act for San Miguel Beer, which certainly augurs ominously here for the Hotdogs. Jojo Lastimosa, he hasn't gotten much relief for 3 quarters now. Look at him working one-on-one against Ato Agustin, and the whole thing blew up right in his face.
So Agustin has figured prominently in the last 2 plays. First he scored a jump shot, and now he forced Jojo Lastimosa into an error.
And San Miguel has a beautiful chance to improve on that 3-point lead, which they now enjoy with 7 minutes and 34 seconds remaining. The fall away by Ignatice. He has gotten his sights back. 5-point lead for the Beermen, 92-87.
Momentum definitely on the side of San Miguel right now.
Well, earlier we mentioned how this ball game was being played in spurts. It's Purefoods' turn now to come up with a spurt of its own. If they can't, then that could mean disaster for them. Jerry rejected by El Presidente. Fast break in the works. Ato Agustin looking to outrun Glenn Capacio. He consummates with a foul against Glenn.
Foul, Capacio.
A big burst here by San Miguel Beer. Just when they needed.
You know, the defensive stance of Glenn Capacio left a lot to be desired here. If he had figured on fouling Ato Agustin, he should have made sure that he didn't connect.
Exactly. That timeout, Agustin getting the 2 points and now has a chance for a 3-point play.
And that lead is slowly ballooning to very alarming proportions. 8-point advantage now for the Beermen, looking for win number 2 in 3 games in this championship series. 95-87 is the official tally. 5 team fouls apiece as we approach the halfway point of this final chapter.
Agustin has turned out to be the surprise ace up the sleeve of Ramon Black.
Another unproductive thrust by the blue shirts. And here's Hector Calma directing operations in open court. Mon Fernandez, the shuffle goes right back to Hector. The director misses. Almost a held ball there in that battle for the loose leather between Mon Fernandez and Alvin Patrimonio, but the referees rule it in favor of the Hotdogs. 95-87 is still the count. Still an 8-point deficit staring the Hotdogs straight in the face. Is Jerry Codiñera trying to maneuver against Codiñera.
And Agustin again drew the charging foul from Jojo Lastimosa.
That's the second time he has baited Lastimosa into an offensive foul. Boy, he really must be getting into the nerves of Jonas as we glide into another timeout.
Purefoods hot dog.
Action continues to Brazil as we move to the last 6 minutes and 12 seconds of game number 3 in the championship showdown between Purefoods and San Miguel Beer. The Beermen enjoying an 8-point lead, have the ball in their territory. Mon Fernandez confronted by Jerry Codiñera. Tunichi trying to escape the clutches of Alvin Patrimonio. The shot clock down to just 3 seconds. The shot came just in time. And now it's a double-digit spread for the Beermen at 97-87. 5:47 to play. Jojo Lastimosa, very ably shackled in the last few minutes by Ato Agustin, finally gets up a shot.
That was a long silence broken finally by Jojo Lastimosa on the part of Purefoods.
97-89, still a very impressive 8-point lead for the Beermen as Mon Fernandez gives Pito Harencio his butt. The drive by Hector Calma is nullified by a foul.
Foul, Harencio.
Pito Harencio was the culprit with his 3rd personal. That was a good foul to give up. Nullified the basket there by Hector Calma, so they'll have to do it one more time around the block. Fernandez with a drive against Jerry. Yes, sir. The elegant one goes to work again.
2 straight baskets by Ramon Fernandez.
99-89, double figure spread again. Jojo Lastimosa, his 2nd in a row. This time he seems to have developed an antidote for the defense of Ato Agustin. And there's a full court press now by the Hotdogs.
Ramon Fernandez is bringing the ball up court once more. They're looking to Ives Ignadice play low post.
They had the right thing in mind, but Ives was not so accurate. At breakneck speed, Pito Harencio comes through with a layup. Well, make that an off-the-glass attempt. 99-93, just a 6-point lead now for the Beermen. No question about it now. The Hotdogs are in the midst of mounting their own counter rally. But that foul by Jerry Codiñera could spell disaster for them. That's already his 5th personal, and they're also in penalty, opening up 2 free throw opportunities for Mon Fernandez, but not before this time.
Timeout, San Miguel Beer.
Back to the live action here with the Ultrites. Now a 7-point lead for the San Miguel Beermen. 100-93 with 4 minutes and 35 seconds to go. One guy I know who's got his eyes glued to his TV set right now is the fine sportsman and the country's #1 haberdasher, Ross Manlapat, whose shop, R.M. Manlapat, is celebrating its 38th anniversary. Wow, that's a long time to be in the tailoring business. 101-93 is the count. Okay, low post play. Capacio from 3-point country. Calma had a piece of that leather, forcing the miss. Score one change, still an 8-point advantage for San Miguel Beer. Take a look at key players in dire foul trouble. Fernandez hits Ives. who misses this time, and Alvin Patrimonio gets the ball from behind Ato Agustin. He keeps on going. Jerry Codiñera is gone.
He'll have a three-point play opportunity. Big break here for Purefoods. They needed that one badly.
Watch that again in slow-mo.
Chance to bring the lead down to 5.
Alvin Teng is checking in for Ives Dignatise. Well, Norman Black has done a masterful job of husbanding his very deep bench. Fresh legs in there too. Now in the person of Alvin Teng as Jerry connects, and it's 101-96. Just a 5-point advantage now for the Beermen. Solis pounding Hector Calma. He makes his move, runs into heavy traffic. Alvin Teng comes through with a semi-hook.
A beautiful assist pass by Hector Calma. He knew exactly where he wanted to have the ball go.
Alvin regains his bearings, puts it up and misses. Battle for the loose ball, won by Ato Agustin, and now it's the Beermen's fans' turn to roar with delight. And there's Baby the Lupan along with Ding Panganiban. Grimness sketched all over their faces. With time down to 3:17, they're looking at a 7-point deficit. Make that a 9-point deficit. As Ramon Fernandez runs the mountain. Fine slow-mo replay being provided you by guys from the OB van, especially Mr. Chris Feria, who wants us to say happy wedding anniversary to Willie and Joy De Vera.
3-point play completed here by Ramon Fernandez.
106-96, 10-point lead for San Miguel. 3 minutes to play. Game number 3 in the championship series. Solis fires on a screen by Lastimosa. Way offline. Scramble for the loose ball, won by Jerry. Jojo against Hector, inside the paint. Yes, sir.
Sailing in for 2 points. A meek reply here by Purefoods. Definitely embattled.
106-98 with time down to 2 minutes and 43 seconds. And now it's San Miguel's Beer's turn to slow down the pace and the tempo. They have the luxury of an 8-point lead. Agustin. Oh, he was a big spark plug here upon his introduction to the ball game by Norman Black. The turnaround. Codiñera is right there.
A big offensive rebound by Codiñera.
The shot will count. Jojo Lastimosa turning in 2 points to stem the avalanche of points being turned in by the Beermen on their side of the floor.
Hotdogs not giving up. See that here in your slow-mo replay.
Agustin.
And this guy, Agustin, who is about to be relieved, is getting a big hand from very appreciative San Miguel Beer fans as he makes way for the return of Elmer Reyes. Lastimosa, 20 points to his name, make that 21. And just a 7-point lead for San Miguel Beer. Well, the Beermen, to be sure, don't have this ball game wrapped up yet. Ramon Fernandez isolated on the right side of the court against Jerry Codiñera.
Inching his way in, and they'll call another foul penalty situation. Codiñera is out of the ball game with 6 personals.
Codiñera.
Now that loss can be very devastating.
Fouls.
Remember how the Hotdogs lost with Jerry Codiñera fouling out in game number 2 with only a few minutes to go. That's the same picture unfolding right now, and it would appear like the same scenario is likewise being played out as in game number 2. Take a look at this foul. Where did the foul occur?
Previous to the takeoff for the shot.
Well, there was also a foul there for good measure by Al Solis. We're seeing, yes.
Alvin Patrimonio has been limited to only 10 points in this ball game. He has not scored a single point in the 4th period.
On the other hand, Jerry Codiñera left the ball game with 24 big markers and 7 rebounds. You can throw in 1 shot block too. Back to a 9-point lead for San Miguel, 110 to 101.
Last 2 minutes. Last 2 minutes.
We're crossing the twilight zone. Brought to you by Club Valentino Rum. Nakakaintindihan tayo sa Club Valentino. Upward shot by Pito Harencio. Oh, they can't afford bloopers like that.
San Miguel Beer just now content to run out the clock. Time is on its side.
Big advantage to the team that comes out with a victory in game number 3. Big psychological advantage preparing for game number 4 on Tuesday. And Nelson Osaitono had no other option left but to foul Fernandez.
Fernandez will go back to the stripe. He has done a lot of damage to San Miguel Beer in the 4th period. But the man who has orchestrated this big comeback of San Miguel Beer, Hector Calma, still in the game.
Well, this time the little guys got into the picture too. And probably the most important role in what seems like a San Miguel victory in the horizon here has been Hector Calma. Well, our Jollibee best player will be named right after this match. We glide into a ceasefire.
Purefoods Hotdog.
As he zoomed right back to the action, we only have 1 minute and 24 to go. Nelson Osaitono picking up the garbage, turning it into gold. He's in for a 3-point opportunity. 112 to 103. All is not yet lost for the Hotdogs, and that was the 5th personal for Tonichi Iturri. You know, if this ball game is going to go the same route as game number 2, it would be victory number 2 for the San Miguel Beermen, but it would stand out in stark contrast to game number 2, which the Beermen dominated practically 95% of the way. And we shall return after this timeout. Only 1 minute and 19 to play. Backcourt pressure by Alvin Patrimonio results in a foul. Well, they were forced to give up a quick foul to freeze the clock. Now it stands at 1 minute and 17 seconds. Still an 8-point lead going for San Miguel. Okay, I was beginning to say, just before that last time I was called, Mr. Henson, that in contrast to game number 2, which San Miguel dominated about 95% of the way, here the Hotdogs were clearly in control for about 60% of the way. So they had the sweet smell of success right within sniffing distance. What happened to them?
That's right. The victory was actually within its grasp. Actually, San Miguel Beer had a big jump early on, and then Purefoods came right back. They had the Hotdogs had a 1-point lead at the start of the 3rd period, and then Purefoods had a big lead, going over twin digits, and then San Miguel Beer came back playing very good defense. I think the Beermen really knew how to attack its game. When Norman Black sent in its speed combination, that really shellacked the Purefoods Hotdogs. At that point in the game, the Hotdogs were controlling the boards, and they were using their power inside the lane to be able to dominate. But when Norman Black sent in his speed combination, that sort of changed the complexion of the game. And San Miguel Beer started to go on full throttle once again. The running game got going in high gear, and San Miguel Beer just took it from there.
So you would consider that as the turning point of this basketball game, with a special highlight this time on the little guys.
I thought so too. I thought so, Joe. Really, because of the orchestration also of Hector Calma. He had Elmer Reyes there. He had Ato Agustin. And then he had Samboy. He gave in quality minutes. And this big surge of San Miguel Beer, of course, came when Ramon Fernandez was sitting on the bench. And despite that fact, San Miguel Beer was able to extricate itself from a very dangerous position because the Hotdogs actually were already leading at that stage of the ball game. Norman Black made a terrific offensive adjustment in sending in a speed combination, and that changed the complexion of the game 360 degrees.
Well, if you ask me, I'd say that the handwriting on the wall for Purefoods came very early in the 1st quarter when Sonny Capacio hobbled out of the ball game on account of a limp, and we shall return right after this. 59 seconds to go. Very comfortable 12-point lead for San Miguel, who seem to be well on their way to cruising to victory number 2 in 3 games in this championship series with the Hotdogs. Lastimosa And the ball is knocked away by Elmer Reyes. Hardly any movement in the clock there. Just 1 second elapsed. 58 seconds to go.
The other determining factor in this ball game, Joe, was the limited offense of Alvin Patrimonio. Held down to only 10 points in this ball game, and he had been going great guns in this series so far.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Henson. There was a big slack there in the production of Alvin Patrimonio.
Considering that he's been averaging 29 points in this series.
So they're missing 19 points. Well, make that 18 because he turned in another point for Purefoods just now. 116 to 109. Hey, what about this? He doesn't look like a very happy hot dog.
Alvin Patrimonio just 1 out of 2. Playing a little bit off form in this ball game.
You know, we're giving a lot of credit to the little guys for orchestrating what seems to be San Miguel's imminent victory in game number 3. But let's not forget that it's also the combination of the triple towers all the time on the floor. Therefore, Norman Black, that sort of kept their heads above water.
That's right. Actually, Norman Black really masterfully orchestrated this game plan. And he was always 1 step ahead of Coach Baby Dalupan in this game 3.
Well, the exile of Alvin Patrimonio might have been the final nail on the coffin here for the Hotdogs as Punky Elalor checks in. He didn't come up with a quality game tonight for the Hotdogs. Thereby lies another vacuum. I'm referring to Punky and, of course, to Alvin. 117 to 105.
You know, Tonichi also logged a lot of quality minutes for San Miguel Beer. Of course, his defense, his bone-crunching picks, and those 2 free throws.
Of course, they didn't get too much mileage out of him in the points department because the Hotdogs had his number. You know, you can only spring a surprise of that nature only once. And Ato Agustin checks right back to the ball game to relieve Tonichi Ituri. And listen to that big round of applause from the San Miguel Beer fans.
I also thought, Joe, that in the 4th period, the Purefoods offense started to sputter. They didn't show the kind of fluidity that the Hotdogs earlier showed. You notice in the first half and midway the 3rd period, the Hotdogs were running very smoothly. They were playing their patterns very deliberately. They were very patient in getting the high percentage shot. They had put in a lot of three-point shots to loosen up the inside defense of San Miguel Beer. They were doing a lot of things right. Baby Dalupan was always having fresh legs on the court, but somehow all of that went for naught when Norman Black always had a combination on the floor to match up better than Baby Dalupan's combination.
Well, looking at it from another viewpoint, Mr. Henson, probably the lack of a floor leader for the Hotdogs also spelled disaster for them in their cause tonight.
Exactly. You know, when the offense starts to break down, when there's poor coordination in the fluidity, you know that the orchestrator is not doing his job. And I think that's what happened to Purefoods. There was a lot of one-on-one movement, particularly by Jojo Lastimosa. And somehow that didn't work out well in the end game, particularly as San Miguel Beer was playing so fluid an offense with Hector Calma, the man with the basketball, orchestrating.
Well, we're dropping you hints as to who is going to receive our Jollibee Best Player Plum. If you still can't get the hint, then heaven help you.
And Hector Calma at the line.
Oh, well, he was bound to falter somewhere. He was playing a near perfect game tonight.
He had 6 points in the first period, in the 4th period, sorry. Missing his last 2 free throws. That doesn't speak too well of the kind of game that he's played. But San Miguel Beer still retaining possession.
Well, we can set our sights now on game number 4, which is set for Tuesday, Mr. Henson. What are the prospects here, and what does Baby Dalupan have to do by way of adjustment?
I think what he has to do is to solve the formula that Coach Norman Black showed here in this game. He's got a speed combination, and Norman and Baby Dalupan must be able to put or set up an antidote to stop San Miguel Beer from running at full throttle. He's got to stop that running game of San Miguel Beer.
Well, of course, we will have an identical schedule for Tuesday as what we had today. Añejo versus Shell in the first game, which is now a 2-1 affair. Añejo enjoying the lead. And, of course, the championship match between San Miguel Beer and Purefoods, which will be 2-1 when they get off the blocks on Tuesday. And collaborating on that coverage will be Mr. Sef Sarmenta and Dr. Randrew J. 12 seconds to go.
again, look at the kind of defense that San Miguel Beer has played, limiting Purefoods to only 109 points. And we said earlier in the series that for Purefoods to win a game in this best of 7 affair, they've got to score at least 120 points, because that's what the offense of Purefoods is used to scoring.
Well, they got off to a great start in game number 1, where they scored 120 points, did they?
Exactly, 120 points to the dot.
Well, it's all over now, but the final winning edge of San Miguel Beer, 7 ticks to go. And the agony for Purefoods will finally be over. Nelson Osaitono aiming from three-point country. He doesn't have that in his bag of tricks. And time finally runs out on game number 3. The victors, clearly, the San Miguel Beermen, they now have a 2-1 edge in preparation.